Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back for some more Atlas news. Been a fair bit going on this week in Atlas. I was at work when the latest patch went live, but we will catch up on that. We will see what the message was and also check out some gameplay with the ramming ship and take a little look around it. Obviously, the main news is, as you would have seen by that picture on the screen and what I just said, the ramming ship is now in game. And I'm actually impressed with it. It looks a lot nicer in game than I thought it was going to. I wasn't sure by the pictures I'd seen so far, but I actually think it looks pretty cool. But we'll look at that in a minute. So patch 517.5 ramming ship and holiday patch is live. Went live on Wednesday this week. Since then there's been a couple of hot fixes, there's been some issues, we'll talk about that later, but let's get into it. Ahoy Pathfinders, the holiday season is here. In the spirit of the holidays, we set sail for a little trip up to the North Pole to bring back some holiday loot and festivities to Atlas. Sail the seas in a fancy new Santa hat or top hat and craft festive decorations. Safely have a company holiday party here on Atlas. You can see we've got some Christmas trees, we've got some stockings, we've got a top hat, got some presents, got a wreath, got the snowman, a little hat. Obviously you can put the hats on the cats and stuff. I think that's just some painted fur armour on the guy at the back there with a top hat. But that looks pretty cool. And yeah, we've got stockings which fill with coal. Ramming ship. Looking for the perfect gift? How about the new ramming ship? That's right, the ship salesman is now officially open for business. He can be found selling our latest ship, the ramming Galley, on his island in the centre of the Freeport grids. The ramming Galley features rowers, 20 cannons, and a ram that deals bonus damage when ramming other ships. Rowers, a new feature currently unique to the ramming Galley, give a burst of speed to intercept and ram other ships. Using rowers requires use of the ship's rowing stamina. Once rowing stamina is depleted, rowing will cease and the stamina will regenerate over time. As the first ship using our new ship system, the ramming Galley will function a bit differently from previous ships. In addition to HP numbers changing, holes will appear in parts of the ship as they become damaged. As the damage worsens, the holes will grow, giving pirates a better visual indicator to determine how damaged each part of their ship is. Be sure to keep your ship repaired, since rowers and weapons will only function if that part of the ship they're on has sufficient health. Repairing the ramming Galley will require use of a new item, the patch kit. No longer will you need to haul planks and raw resources to ensure your ship stays in pristine condition. Since the ramming Galley already comes equipped with a large arsenal of weapons, players will not be able to build additional weapons on it. Workstations and furniture can be constructed freely, and existing stairs, doors and sails can be switched out with player-made variants. Although walls and other structures cannot currently be constructed on ships, we would like to iterate on this in the future to allow pirates to customise their ships with a variety of rooms below deck. Just quickly guys, so repairing the ramming Galley is, I found it a little bit difficult to know exactly where I should be repairing without running around my ship looking at each individual panel. And even then, when I was repairing, it takes a little while to repair, and it only repairs a percentage per patch kit. It does show you when you hover over certain parts of the ship how many patch kits will be required to repair that particular panel and how many patch kits you have in your inventory. But like I said, it was a kind of a slow process. I kept getting caught out basically repairing the wrong parts of my ship. Even though I had like damage where I was repairing, there was like damage in other places which was equal to what I was repairing, which was leaking. And yeah, I found it tough at times. So you need to keep on top of it. Might be a good idea to have someone with you just running around repairing. The other thing I wanted to mention quickly is the ship cannons. You can't swap them out, so they're just common cannons. I don't know what percentage they are, but they're just bog standard cannons. You can't swap them in and out. The sails you can swap in and out. Now, talking about the sails, it says that you don't need to carry around resources to repair anything. You will need raw resources and a hammer to repair your sails, so remember that. You can swap in the doors. The only stairs I found that I could swap was the stairs going down below deck. And you can place different things on the ship, which you'll see in the video in the background. and we'll go over the video again when I finish going through this. But certain things are too tall. For example, a bookshelf and the larder can only go in 1 or 2 places if you want them on there. Now, whether you want them on there or not is a different story. I put them on there because I was just seeing what I could get on there, for example. Also to note, with this normal ship, you can only put 9 other items on the ship before it runs out of pieces used. So keep that in mind. There's only 9 more parts to add to the ship, i.e. storage boxes, wall hooks, you know, if you wanted a smithy, bed, that kind of stuff. You can only put 9 other extra items on what the ship comes as. Right, back to the patch notes. We hope you enjoy the new ramming galley and holiday festivities. We are still hard at work continuing to fine-tune the markets and trade system, among other optimization and performance improvements. It's a long-term process, and we want you to know that even if certain changes are not seen right away, we are taking the steps to move these things along. Thanks again for all your support and feedback. Release patch notes 515.7. New ship, ramming galley, cost 22,000 gold, weapons, 18 standard cannons, 2 forward-facing large cannons, special features, rowers and ram, max level 60, sail points 4, repair resources, patch kit. New item, patch kit. The patch kit is a new item used for repairing the ramming galley. It can be crafted in the smithy after learning the shipwright skill in the seamanship tree. To use, approach damaged part of the ramming galley and use the repair hammer. Once the repair is complete, the patch kit will be consumed and the repaired component will have 1,000 health restored. Healing 1,000, crafting resources 100 fibre, 120 thatch, 200 wood. New workstation, the Kiln. The Kiln is a new workstation used for rapidly creating coal out of wood. Add wood to the Kiln inventory and activate it, and it will burn 1 into coal every second. Kiln crafting is learned in the secrets of building skill in the construction tree and can be done at the smithy. Crafting resources 500 stone, 200 flint, 25 metal. Very cool addition to the game, the Kiln, actually. We've been very lucky the last 2 seasons on the island we're on. There's a lot of coal nodes right next to us, so that's not been an issue. But when you haven't got coal just at your feet all the time, this is super handy. Really, really cool addition to the game. Winter event. 2 new hat skins are available for purchase from the Freeport's cosmetic vendor for a limited time. A Santa hat, 200 gold, and a top hat, 200 gold. 7 new items available for crafting at the smithy for a limited time. Christmas tree. Produces a random gift every 24 hours. Crafting resources, 250 wood, 200 fibre, 250 thatch. Festive lights, a decoration that can be hung on walls. Crafting resources, 20 wood, 10 thatch, 1 metal. Holiday gift, a festive variant of the small storage box. Crafting resources, 44 wood, 40 thatch, 15 hide. Sleigh, a festive variant of the wooden chair. Crafting resources, 100 wood, 100 thatch, 50 fibre. Snowman, a new friend that can be placed on ships or floors. Crafting resources, 2 wood, 12 coal, 1 carrot, 50 fibre, 30 ice. That's pretty cool. Stocking, a decoration that can be hung on walls. Produces 1 coal every 5 minutes. Crafting resources, 40 fibre, 30 hide. Reef, a decoration that can be hung on walls. Crafting resources, 20 fibre, 10 wood, 20 thatch. Armoured docks, bug fix. Gold upkeep status now only shown for the owning company. Bug fix, upkeep timer now correctly updated on the UI. Bug fix, ships in armoured docks no longer stay protected after the owner of the armoured dock or the ship changes. Just quickly guys, a few people have messaged me saying their large armoured docks are no longer appearing for them to craft or in the skill tree. I've not had a look, so I'm not sure if I've got that problem. Let me know in the comments below if you're having that issue. But yeah, a couple of people have mentioned that to me. Market logs now have paging, allowing all logs to be displayed for each market. Bug fix, suspended and unsuspended markets are now working correctly. Known issues, ramming galleys, railing, gun ports and castles can be damaged, but don't update their meshes to reflect this damage. Their HP updates accordingly, and they can be repaired. The ramming galley's forward-facing large cannons are in the right station group by default. So that just means on your hotbar, yeah, I guess that's right. On your bar at the bottom of your screen, when you're on the steering wheel, The 2 forward-facing large cannons are in the right station group. So on the number corresponding to the right side of your ship for your cannons, that is what includes the 2 forward-facing cannons. If I remember rightly off the top of my head, I think it will say 11 selected when you look at that, which is because it's got the 2 additional front cannons, and one side will say 9, I believe, because there's 9 cannons to each side of the ship. HP for undamageable parts of the ramming galley can be viewed and will always display as 100. Cannons on top of the ramming galley's front castle clip through the castle when aiming left and right. This doesn't prevent them from firing. Apparently, a few people have said that it does damage the front of the ship though. When I used them, I don't think I had that issue, but it doesn't stop it firing. So when you fire, the cannons will fire the balls out. Sail rigging does not preview correctly when placing sails on the ramming galley. Many map tiles are black when viewing the map through the atlas or when spawning. There's also a couple of other things that comes like after this. There's been a lot of crashes since this patch due to keybinds, I believe, or that's what they're saying. So if you are having crashes, get in the game, go to options, restore your keybinds to default and see if that works. And I would just leave it like that until they patch it. Or reset to default, change the keybinds you want one at a time and just see if it works or not. But apparently it's to do with the keybinds, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, they are patching the issue with the maps. They've put out 3 or 4 patches, I think, since Wednesday. It's Saturday now as I make this. So they are trying to fix it. Yeah, I won't go into what I think on what they need to do right now. Everyone knows it. They need to fix the stability of the game. They need to sort out the servers and stuff like that. You know, they're just building on quicksand right now. But that's all I'll say on that. Really cool little patch. I'm really happy with the ramming galley. I wasn't sure on it at first, but I mean, look at that. It looks pretty damn cool once you get it painted a little bit. Now the painting on it is a bit weird. It doesn't work properly. You can't paint all the panels, you can't paint all the planks, but you can do a little bit with it. Hopefully they'll change that in the future. I know it's not one of the priorities, you know, it functions just about, and yeah, that's the main thing. The known issues with it that I've seen are that sometimes when you try and ram a ship, it will sink itself. There was a funny video on the Discord channel, on Atlas Discord, showing someone trying to ram one of the ships, and yeah, as it hits the other ship, it just flips over and sinks, which is pretty funny. To make it use its rowers, you have to press Shift Q. I'm an idiot and I couldn't work that out to start with. I had to go and ask Crimson Crew and Shu and all them guys, because I just couldn't figure it out. But yeah, it's Shift Q. They get their oars out, you press Shift Q again and they start rowing. Once the stamina's depleted, they'll stop and then they'll put the oars back in. Or once the stamina's regenerated a bit, you can press Shift Q again, they'll start rowing again. You can row against the wind, you don't need the sails open. It's pretty cool, it's a cool little mechanic. I really like the ramming ship. I think you can probably, when you get your first 20 grand, it might be a good investment even on PvE. You get it with 20 cannons on it straight away. Put a few levels in it for crew, you can man them pretty quick. You can go against the wind, you can get around. It's quite tanky, but you got to be careful. This is a really low level one in this video. I just spawned it in on single player. Haven't really leveled it up, so yeah, once you leveled it up, got some stats in it, I'm sure it'll take a bit of a beating once you get used to how you repair the ship. Repairing it, I found to be a bit of a pain. Yes, you can see sometimes where there are holes in the ship when you look out of the ship with a free cam kind of thing. The front and back castles, which basically the front and the back of the ship, the armoured parts of the ship, don't currently show damage. They do register damage, so if you go and look at them, it will show their health pool. It will show the number for their health pool, and that will go down and up depending on, you know, damage taken and repairs and stuff like that. but it won't actually physically show on the outside of the ship that it's taken damage. The rower's bench does show, you'll see holes in the bench when that's happening. But yeah, it's kind of difficult. I found when I started leaking that I'd be repairing something, it would take ages to repair it. It does show you how many patch kits are required to repair that particular panel you're looking at. But it's really, really slow, and I got caught out trying to repair my ship. I couldn't figure out which part was the worst part. I couldn't figure out if I would be better off just running around repairing each bit a little bit at a time and bringing up the overall health, or if I had to repair a certain part to full health to stop the leak. It was kind of difficult on my own. But this will get tweaked. This is the first iteration of the ship. This is the first version of it, so we will see changes to it and improvements, but so far so good. I'm really surprised. I genuinely wasn't sure on it when they first announced it, and I see the pictures. I was kind of disappointed, but now it's in game. I do like it, and I really do love the ore mechanic. I think that's really cool. I hope that's something we see on more ships, particularly if not on the ships we already have, maybe on the ships that come out from now on. In this style, the modular style, I think it'll be really handy. I've never understood why we haven't had this before, because I've said before, ships back in the day would have had ore holes. You would have used ores to moor your ships up once you got into harbour and things like that. They wouldn't have had, you know, like tugs like we have nowadays. So yeah, that's really handy. The ores aren't very handy for parking up and stuff, but they're just good when there's no wind and when you're on a speed boost. And like I said, I think they're actually be a good investment is your first ship that you want to spend gold on, other than your schooner. Get your schooner, earn some gold, buy a ramming boat, while you go around the Atlas and explore things. I think that could be a good way to go. It's an interesting ship. It'll be interesting to see what people do with it. I'd love to know how successful this is in PvP at the moment. Like I said, the only video I've seen so far was someone trying to ram another ship, like testing it out, and they just sunk. As soon as they rammed into another ship, it flipped over and sunk. So it definitely needs working on. But overall, pretty cool. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, Shift Q to get your oars out. Don't be an idiot like me. Shift Q to get your oars out to use the rowers. If you're having crashes, please remember to try and reset your keybinds to default and see if that stops it. If it does stop it and you want to use some of your keybinds, just change them one at a time and see if you get crashes or not. If you get a crash, reset them and just don't change them particular keybinds. And they are trying to patch the current problems we're having. And like I mentioned earlier, yes, they do need to fix the servers and stability of the game. We all know that. But it's a long process, apparently. I wish they'd just focus on it, but, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.